0039.
It's okay to give your heart away to me, 'cause everything I have breathes so hard when I breathe.
That is the dulcet tones of our in-studio guest, the and talented Lena Hall. You can see on YouTube and Twitch.tv. She's here to promote season 2 of Your Friends and Neighbors on Apple TV, where she plays the part of Allie, John Hamm's sister. Thank you so much for coming in.
My pleasure. Anything to bring me home.
I just, yes, let's talk about that first, because you're from San Francisco.
I am born and raised in the Haight-Ashbury right here in San Francisco.
Upper Haight, Lower Haight.
What is it? We're in the Upper Haight.
You're in the Upper Haight.
Yeah,
So more
yeah.
towards the park.
Yeah. Kind of where it all happened, where all the hippie stuff happened.
So Mad Dog and the Fog,
Mhm.
watching soccer there as a youngster myself.
Oh yeah.
Stannion, what's that? What's the bar there on Stannion?
I don't.
Well, whatever. I'm talking about bars. What was it like growing up in the Haight?
It was awesome.
Noisy?
No,
Really?
not at all. No, it's really fun. It would be the Haight Street Fair, the Haight-Ashbury Fair that would happen all the time. Those were really fun. I remember I would go to, we'd hang out on Haight Street all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
I even worked on Haight Street at like a kid store. My whole-
Second-hand kid store?
Yeah, my whole life basically, my whole childhood life took place in Haight-Ashbury. My dad would take us if they had a concert, like a free concert in like Golden Gate Park.
Mm-hmm.
He would take us or take me and put me on his shoulders so I could see what was going on. And that's how I saw Jefferson Airplane for the first time. I was
Wow.
really little, and it's really cool. It's still a cool place. Like the Haight-Ashbury is still got the vibe.
And you
Still
had
vibing.
entertainment in your bones with your mom and dad, and the connections with the ballet. In fact, I'm going tomorrow to see La Sylphide, the one with
Oh.
all the tartan and all that. It's a great.
Yes.
Yeah, if you've remember that one, it's
Yes.
an old Parisian one.
Yeah.
Tell us about that background of sort of being in quote unquote show business as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, I was born into the ballet world, basically bred to be, a ballet show pony. And and it's interesting because my whole life I was so surrounded by the creative arts everywhere, because my parents' friends were all, amazing artists in every respect. My grandfather, he was a painter. So I grew up like very wealthy in the arts, just saturated in it. And I was deep in the ballet world until a little later. In high school, I decided to like pursue what my sister was doing, which was musical theater. And because I saw her do like a production of 42nd Street, and I was like, I have to do that.
And that's Callie.
That's Callie, my sister, sitting right next to me.
Off
yeah.
camera.
And I was also raised with every type of person around me, so there was never, I was exposed to everything and everyone.
The diversity here.
Yeah,
is awesome.
amazing. And so I'm very grateful for that. Although when I was in high school, all I wanted to be was something normal, like an accountant or
Really?
yeah, and I wanted to live in like a beige house with nothing in it, because the house I grew up in, it's still the same. It's still there in the Haight-Ashbury, and there's paintings that were done high on acid and ceilings that were done high on all the things, like, all the artwork and stuff. Everything was done in an altered state, but that made the house so special. But
You grew up in a black light poster.
correct, I did, yeah, and quite literally. I was sharing on Instagram, kind of cleaning up the house a little bit, not taking things away, but just cleaning it, and sharing like my dad's room where he was forever and had collected so many things, and just
It recently passed.
he recently passed in August.
Sorry.
Yeah. And it's nice, like it's fun to share that with people, because it is such a special house. full of stuff. I mean, there's a Ruth Asawa sculpture that she did for my parents. Like
Wow.
she made a Ruth Asawa sculpture for one of my father's. Ruth Asawa made a sculpture for one of my father's ballets, and then she gave them a sculpture after, which I think is really cool. So there's a lot of that in there, and so growing up, of course, I wanted to be opposite. I wanted to do something. I wanted to be in a beige house where everything was put away. There was no stuff. It was like pristine white couch. That's kind of how I've envisioned my life. But I still ended up going into the creative space. I had no choice, basically.
Well, we're going to get to the show in the next segment, but I just want to talk about your fantastic theater background, because it's one thing to make it off Broadway, and then it's another thing to be on Broadway, and then it's another thing to be Kinky Boots,
Right.
and all the other great shows that you've done, and winning a Tony. I mean, do you sometimes think about how you just wanted this uncluttered, minimalist existence, and then here you are on Broadway?
Yeah. It was the path of least resistance, interestingly enough. So, I after high school, I had no real plans to go to college, but I did want to figure something out. I didn't really know what I wanted for my life. And then there was an open call for Cats tour, and a friend of mine just called me, and I went and I booked it. And so at 18, I was out on tour. And then after I toured for a year, they moved me to the Broadway companies. So it was kind of this, to get to Broadway, it was definitely like I went with the universe as it was taking me a long journey.
So it found you.
Yeah. And so that was the path of least resistance for me. And it's been, it was really joyful and so much fun. And I love every aspect of it. But there was a point where I needed to kind of decide what I wanted my life to be, at least, and then just kind of focus on making that happen. So it was around the time when I had got my tonsils removed when I was 26. I was doing Tarzan on Broadway, and I was in the ensemble, and I was kind of feeling like I wasn't into the show. I wasn't feeling it, and I didn't know why, because I was like, if I'm on Broadway, I should be happy. Like, this is a dream. And so I ended up I was like, oh, it's because I haven't actually figured out who I am, what I want to represent in this industry, and what I want to do. So that's when I started focusing on TV film. That's when I started focusing on things that I really wanted, like the type of music I wanted to sing and how I wanted to sound, or what I sound like. It was always kind of, I was mimicking what other people were doing, but I was never really finding my own voice. And so, over time, I discovered my own voice. I discovered the music I loved to sing, and I discovered kind of who I wanted to be as far as in this industry, like what I wanted to represent, and what was most authentic to who I was, because I was kind of fighting it when I was younger, because I was never a huge fan of musical theater. I like musical theater. It's really fun, but I was never a huge fan of it, and I always thought maybe it was a little cheesy for me, or there were just some things that I wasn't so 100% sold on. But when I discovered the show Hedwig and the Angry Inch, which was the one I won the Tony for, that show is based in all this old, all the music is sounds like old Iggy Pop, David Bowie, and that genre speaks to me, and that show really spoke to me a lot. And that show, funnily enough, is about finding who we really are.
Great stuff. Let's go to a break. When we come back, more with the lovely and talented Lena Hall, of course, season 2 of Your Friends and Neighbors on Apple TV. Right now, episode 3 coming out Friday. We'll be right back on Sports Byline.
Airline travel. Let's say you have a problem and you need to change or cancel an existing airline reservation. What do? Well, Skywatch is a free service that can help anyone with any airline reservation fix it. Whether you want to cancel it, change your dates, or add passengers, we can help fix your airline reservations so you get exactly what you need. We've updated our computer database and now have access to every airline around the globe. So now you can make one phone call regardless of who booked your airline tickets, and we'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. We know the insider secrets to fixing reservations that the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or modify an existing airline reservation, call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let us fix it for you. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. That's 855-325-5647.
Sometimes life changes, and the house you once loved becomes a burden. Too many repairs, too many memories, too much to handle on your own. If you'd like to sell your home fast, we can help. At the Home Buyers Hotline, we can help you sell your home as is. No cleaning, no showings, and there are absolutely no hidden fees or real estate commissions. We'll pay you a fair price for your home in cash. Whether you're downsizing, handling an estate, or just ready for peace of mind, call us. We'll help you walk away from your problem property in no time at all and get you the cash in your bank account with little hassles. If you'd like to sell your home fast, as is, we can help at the Home Buyers Hotline.
Call Want to Sell Your Home now for a free quote to sell your home in any condition. Call 800-950-3143. 800-950-3143. That's 800-950-3143.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8223. 800-690-8223. 800-690-8223. That's 800-690-8223.
A good day, the sun shines over me. Well, I shall fly in the desert sand.
All right, that's a little toe tapper there. Very good from our guest, Lena Hall. Tittle back with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. Lena Hall on camera on YouTube and Twitch.tv. She's in season 2 of Your Friends and Neighbors. She plays Allie, and Allie plays the guitar and sings. And you do that in real life, and you have a new album. Tell us a little about it.
I do, yeah. It's an album that's been percolating for like over a decade. I was in a band called The Deafening, which was like a hard rock band, Guns N' Roses sounding. It's very funny, tongue in cheek, and I did the dumb thing of dating the guitar player, who was
As
also
you
the
do.
songwriter, right? And then we'd have some wild late nights, and we lived together for a while there, and it would be late at night. We would write these songs together, and of course, then we broke up. The band broke up, and I didn't talk to him for a while. But then the pandemic happened, and we started talking and becoming friends again. And I was like, you know what? We wrote all these songs. We should do something with them because they were really cool, and it wouldn't be something that The Deafening would do. So it's like, why don't we finish them off and do this? And so I came up with the name Lullabies for the End of the World. And at the time, it it was the pandemic, so it really did feel like that. And put together like the saddest songs that we had written, and it tells a bit of a story. It's kind of like the beginning and the middle and the end of a relationship where you meet someone and they change your whole world, and then you kind of go off the deep end with them and you turn into someone you don't know anymore, and then when it breaks up and it ends, it's like a complete disassembly of what the life was that you had built